Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 44 of All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast. And today we are lucky enough to have guest Rod Cross, who's the inventor of SquidEzy. It's going to double as our tackle item and our guest this week, Rhodey. Great to be joined by you. How are you going?
Diz, I'm bloody good, and we've talked about having Mr. SquidEzy himself on for a long time, and we've finally lined it up.
We have. He's a South Australian local, come up with a fantastic idea. He supports locals and, as we'll hear later on, doesn't mind enjoying a bit of fishing himself.
No, he's a good fisherman, Diz. He is a good fisherman.
Excellent, Rhodey. Well, we've got a lot jam-packed into today's episode, but we should get through our regular items, and let's start off with our oranges and lemons. So we're going to give the listeners a couple of oranges back-to-back.
Yes, Diz. I'm going to crack my beer just to get things underway.
Yes, good call.
So last time we left you guys, we were sitting on the deck at Sceales Bay. We had a couple of days left on our Eyre Peninsula trip. Mm-hmm. You were just recovering from an awful illness that sort of dragged on, but we will get to that. But we managed to sort of keep you okay for a couple of hours to get offshore at Sceales Bay, which is a beautiful spot. We ended up about 20k offshore from the ramp at the 10 fathom mark. Yes. 10 fathom line, I think they called it.
Yes.
10 fathom lump, maybe.
10 fathom something.
Anyway, we heard about the bloody big schools of salmon and trevally.
That's where they get the tuna.
They get the tuna. Weren't there yet. Plenty of bird life, but we did pretty well on the Nannygai.
Yes, we did, Rhodey. It was it's not for the faint-hearted out there, particularly on a bad day.
It was pretty open water there, wasn't it, Diz?
It was extremely open, and look, by the time we eventually got out of the bay and had the marks in the GPS and it said 15 kilometres to go, we sort of looked at each other a bit funny, but off we charged, and first couple of drops on a few lumps we'd found were unsuccessful, but our luck changed from there.
We did, Diz. We got, I think we got 10 good-sized nannies, and a couple of them were stompers, weren't they?
Yeah, we did. You put in a couple of big ones, but all of them were of good size, I'd say.
Yeah, they were, Diz.
We didn't have to measure any of them.
Yeah, well, we went out there for hours. We sort of had a bit of a window of time and weather to get out there, so we got out there, got the damage done, and got back in. Plenty of bit of bycatch, plenty of big trevally, bit of fun.
Yeah, well, double header of trevally and decent sized nanny.
Yeah, that one pulled a bit of line, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good fun.
So that's my orange, Diz.
Fresh nanny for dinner was a positive.
So that was a great way to end the Eyre Peninsula trip, Diz.
It was, yes. Rhodey, my orange for the fortnight that's gone is we just got back from a weekend away on the Eyre Peninsula with Millie's folks, and it was a great weekend. We managed to get the boat in the drink, and we got down to Port Julia, and that's been a favourite spot of mine, particularly for squidding.
Yes, got to be high tide though.
And I've mentioned that, I think we've talked about this on the show, is that I have said how productive the Port Julia jetty is for fishing for squid. And one day we rocked up there, the tide was extremely low, and we were throwing the lures onto seaweed.
You were, Diz, and then you come up with the terms and conditions.
And we did come up with the terms and conditions, but the weekend just gone was quite fruitful. We got a good feed of squid off the jetty there, which was nice.
Oh, I must be waiting for mine to get dropped on the doorstep.
Yeah, well, you'll be waiting a while. Buddy. There was plenty of hungry mouths to feed over there.
Because that was about the only thing we didn't really target on the Eyre Peninsula, and we do love a good feed of squid, Diz, particularly with the new SquidEzy.
Yes, absolutely.
Much better filleting them now.
Much better.
Not filleting, cleaning them, I suppose.
Cleaning them, yes. All right, Rhodey. I'll just roll that straight over into my lemon because I have been crook. There's no two ways about it.
Yes, Diz. The listeners, I've had a number of questions coming from the listeners saying, is Dizzy alive?
I was shitting through the
Is he in the
needle
toilet?
for
Is he in the
5
hospital?
days. I couldn't go out on the boat for longer than 2 hours. I was looking at a bucket very, very strangely while we were a long way offshore, wishing we had a toilet. But anyway, I got back, went and saw the doctor, David Sceales next door at the pharmacy, fantastic local GP, and he ran some tests, and it came back as Campylobacter.
Yes.
Nasty little
So it's a chicken-borne sort of operation, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But then a day after that, I had a phone call from a very interested SA Health communicable diseases officer.
Yes.
Talking to me about Vibrio parahemolyticus.
Yeah, so where does that come from?
That comes mainly from oysters.
Ooh, had a couple of oysters over there, didn't we?
We did eat a couple.
Have they got the location of where it came from?
Well, they don't. They didn't share with me too much information, but they were particularly interested about the oysters that I ate, what condition they were in. And I humbly suggested to her that there's no way on earth you could get them any fresher.
Yeah, I agree. We had a couple at Streaky Bay, but they were after you, Crook, I reckon, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Anyway, Diz, so what? Basically what's happened is the SA Health has dropped COVID. They're not worried about that anymore, and they're sorting out your oyster issues.
They are. They asked whether I was with anyone who was immunocompromised or, that we should be worried about, and I sort of maybe forgot about our 2 pregnant female companions on that trip.
So
anyway, everyone's here. We're all alive. I'm feeling a bit better after a short course of antibiotics. We're all good.
did you think when SA Health rang you that you'd been at a COVID exposure site?
I was 45 minutes on the phone.
Oh, hell.
They were asking, you try and remember what you ate
Yes.
every meal for
Particularly
the last
on holiday
week.
when it blends all into one.
Oh, I know. And the different places we
Yes.
ate at, it was nasty.
All right, Diz, moving on. Good to hear you well. My lemon is
The
that...
orange, big man.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I've done my orange. My orange was the nannies. My
Sorry.
lemon is that our week fishing trip, Eyre Peninsula, is over. And it's always a bit of a letdown when you get back.
Yes.
The next weekend involves, mowing the lawn and cleaning up and washing gear. And it's a bit of a letdown, isn't it?
It is.
Works hard the first week back.
It is hard. It is. And you sort of can't help but think from here that we'll definitely get the boat out and we'll get it wet, but it's not going to be for a week-long mission.
I can't see any week-long missions on the immediate radar.
No.
So anyway, it was a great trip, but always a bit of a letdown coming back to reality.
Yes.
All right, Diz, let's keep rolling. The merch, the new caps, can't be far off.
No, they can't be.
They're great. They're very high quality, similar to the Navy ones. If you want to get the first order in, let us know. I know Dan Way, the fishing guru, is keen as a bean. Everyone else is too. So, look, we could sell them out pretty quick, so I'd be getting in if I was you.
Yeah, I would be. I'd be getting in fast because they're super comfy, super versatile. You can wear them indoors and outdoors.
Sun, rain.
Yeah, you can. You can wear them fishing. You can actually even throw them through the washing machine. I've done that.
Yeah, I'll put my fishing one through too.
And, no problems.
Anyway, they'll be there soon, Diz.
They will be. Brody, let's get stuck in the news because there's a bit to chew through here.
There is here, Diz. So this has been an interesting one. We've talked about this before, the Whyalla Cuttlefish numbers. So they've done another survey based, the state government's done this, based on the spawning that happens during the winter time up near Whyalla in the Spencer Gulf. And these numbers suggest that the population has dropped by about 150,000 since a commercial fishing ban ended in the area last year, or was altered in the area. So numbers hit a low of 13,500 in 2013, restrictions put in, bounced back to a record high of about 250,000 last year following a fishing ban. The ban was then altered recently, and there was a lot of concern for the species, which is why this current survey that estimated 107,000 as the population, done by SARDI, is of concern to a lot of people, Diz.
Yes, it is, Rhodey. It's an interesting story, this one, because we have covered this, haven't we?
Extensively, we've covered this.
And we know that there was some concerned locals.
Tony Bramley, number one.
Tony Bramley,
We've had him
will
on
be
the show.
sitting there, no doubt enjoying a beer or a quiet beverage or a soft drink or something.
And we've got some quotes from Tony, Diz.
Yes,
So
let's
he
give
said-
listeners the quotes.
These numbers are disappointing but not surprising. We don't know all the factors, but commercial fishing is one of them. And he's gone on to say the government on the issue over 22 years has a record of complete mismanagement and misjudgment. The cuttlefish are so important to this town. There's a world-class tourist attraction that Whyalla really needs. Strong words, Diz.
Do you think he's sitting there just wishing he could drop him a big fat "I told you so"?
Yes, I think he is. Interesting though, Diz, the other side of the argument is David Basham.
Okay, let's hear
another
Basham.
friend of the show.
Yes.
So he has said that the population data over the past few years should give local tourism operators great confidence this species has rebounded back and the Whyalla community can look forward to a bright future. He's talked about how they've implemented a temporary 100-metre fishing exclusion zone around Point Lowly and said that they've increased the protection in that particular area. Which, look, in theory, that's true. And the other interesting part that I suppose leads to this confusion over one side thinking it's a positive, one side thinking it's a negative. SARDI's Aquatic Sciences Research Director Mike Steer has said that significant variations on the population of cuttlefish were expected because of their 18-month life cycle.
Okay.
So, I think they're saying that it was expected to drop off this year.
Okay.
Putting two and two together.
Right. So we're saying sit down, wait until next year. See what the numbers do.
Look, I think going from 250 to 107,000 isn't a great sign.
Yeah, we don't want to wait till next year and there'll be none.
But you don't want to react on 1 year. 1 year's not a trend, is it?
No, 1 year's not a trend.
So I think, look, hold tight. I think we need good numbers next year. I would love to know how they get the exact number of 107,000.
You think we should extend that 100-metre fishing exclusion zone?
I could always cast a squid at 100 metres on a good day.
If you had a strong offshore, you'd be able to get one out there. And these days with drones, I'm not sure how many people are drone squid fishing, cuttlefish fishing.
We could get ahead of the trend
fair
there.
Point.
I've never seen it done.
We could be groundbreakers. Righto, Rhodey, we've got oil in the Port River and it's not a good look.
Yes, it is. So our friends at SA Angler have shared some pictures on their Facebook page. So jump on that and have a look.
Yeah.
That picture gives a bird's eye view of the problem and you can see oil leaking out from rocks. Mm-hmm. And they're saying it's also leaching from underground. And their quote is, "It doesn't take a scientist to explain why the ecosystem is struggling so much."
Yes. Yeah, it's not too good.
And we don't have the whole story.
Those photos are not great.
No. And I've also actually, similar to this, Diz, I think there was I can't remember what the particular dolphin that passed away a couple of months ago. They've done an autopsy on that dolphin, Diz.
Oh, what happened?
I don't have this in front of me, but it was natural causes.
Oh, so it's just old.
Oh, I think it had some sort of infection. Wasn't well.
Was it Vibrio?
It could have been, Diz. It could have been.
So
But
sharing a dodgy oyster with me.
basically, the summary of that was it wasn't hit by a boat.
No.
It certainly didn't have a heap of fishing line coming out of its mouth.
It didn't look like it was hit by a boat.
It wasn't hit by a boat. I'm happy to share that with you, Diz. And it was crook.
Yeah, it was just it was probably a bad case of the parahemolyticus.
So look, the fisho's copped a bad rap over that dolphin passing away, and we didn't deserve it.
No, we didn't. Rhodey, while we're on the topic of the Port River, this is reasonably new information. There has been an obscene amount of foam balls mistakenly released into the Adelaide Dolphin Sanctuary. And this could potentially cause some slow and painful death to the local wildlife. Not just the dolphins.
Yeah.
Also bird life.
Yeah.
And other animals that frequent the area.
And where did these foam balls come from, Diz?
Right, okay. So AGL, the
Gas and electricity?
gas company, is investigating about how their brightly coloured foam cleaning balls have escaped the power plant on Torrens Island and washed up on the banks of the Port River over the weekend. Although it is understood, it is not the first time, Brody.
What do the foam balls do?
Well, I don't know, mate. I don't run the bloody power plants.
Bloody interesting.
But they have been been mistakenly released. They've escaped from the power plant. Anyone would think they've got legs, but the founder and director of the Australian Marine Wildlife Research and Rescue Organisation on Torrens Island has said it is an absolute worry for the wildlife. Naturally, birds can consume them, marine mammals can also eat them, turtles and others in the sanctuary. So we naturally have some concerns for those animals, Rhodey.
I'm looking at them now, Diz. They're about 2 centimetres across.
Yep.
And this is a quote from Brett Fewings, who must have some involvement. Sounds like a bit of an expert. He has said, I used to work in a power station in New South Wales. These things look like soft foam abrasive covered balls and were shot through the condenser tubes to clean them out.
Okay.
So that's it, Diz. But yes, agree, they do look like they could be eaten by a bird or some sort of animal. So not good, Diz.
No, there'll be some heads that'll roll over that one.
Let's just hope us fishers don't get blamed for this too, Diz.
I just wanted to have it on the record.
Yes, wasn't us, particularly us too in particular. But fishermen in general are not responsible.
No. Okay, Rhodey, let's talk about what is an absolute iconic event down in the great southern region of South Australia, and it is very well known as the Onka Stompa, that was conducted on the weekend just gone.
Yes, Diz, this needs a big wrap. Congratulations to Mark Mills and his team on another great success of a weekend, of a day. They had 210 registered to fish, around 300 attendees, including some volunteers, spectators, whatever else. Mm-hmm. It sounds like it was a great day.
Yes.
Got on the news too, Diz, I heard.
It did.
I didn't see it. I think I think it was Channel 7. Don't quote me.
Yes, I did. Look, I did see that. They were blessed with fantastic weather. They were lucky enough not to have any snakes this year, which they usually do see a couple.
Yes.
They had a huge list of special guests.
Yeah.
Rhodey, I don't think we need to run through them, do we?
No, we don't.
Local members of parliament, local councillors and the likes, Rhodey, and like you say, news teams and the rest. But just a fantastic day for the family. I think it's very worth noting that our great friend of the show, Simon from Savage Tackle.
Yeah, he was down there and he gave us a report.
Yes, he did. One of the best tackle producers in the state.
One of his kids got a little salmon trout.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm just reading here, the biggest mulloway was caught by 10-year-old Ella Hausler.
Yes.
92.5 centimetres.
That's a big, good size
That's
mullet.
a good fish. And a number of brim over 40. The champion size was 42, Brendan Talbot.
Yeah.
Who also took out the biggest brim junior. So the kids have done exceptionally well.
Yeah, they got into it. And look, drum roll if we had one, but no great surprise with how much they've raised given the tireless work that Millsy and the team put in and a huge effort by all the businesses and everybody supporting.
What did they raise, Diz?
54 grand.
They actually raised 55 grand.
55, they clocked it.
So the official result was $54,883.35.
Someone just tipped them over the
The volunteers involved Daniel Way, Adam Smith, Craig Howard and Ben Crean quickly added the $116.65 to round it up to 55K.
Oh, what a bunch of legends.
So 55 grand straight to the Childhood Cancer Association, which I'm sure they will do great things with, Diz. So another great weekend and congratulations to all involved.
Absolutely, Rhodey. That's a real good feel-good story, that one.
It is, Diz. Let's keep moving. This is across the border. I know we're a South Australian fishing show, but it is good to share what happens in the other states. Mm-hmm. Just so we have a comparison of what we should be doing and what we could be doing here in SA.
Yes, okay.
The Go Fish Ngambie has been running for a number of years. That's a cod competition up at the Ngambie Lakes.
Yes.
This year, the Vic Tourism and Victorian Fisheries Authority has got behind it and they're running Vic Go Fish Peninsula. So it's down on the Mornington Peninsula, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it's a snapper competition. So there's a $20,000 prize for biggest snapper and a $5,000 prize for biggest squid. in Western Port and Port Phillip Bay across the weekend of the 10th to 12th of December. Plenty of other prizes, random prizes and the like. $120 general admission tickets, $50 for juniors.
Not bad.
And you can win a $20,000 prize for catching a snapper, Diz.
That's pretty good.
Can you imagine them doing that here?
Oh, jeez, wouldn't it be nice?
That is what we've got to aim for here, Diz.
Wouldn't it be nice? Little $20,000 snapper prize in one of the Gulfs.
You know, prize like that. You talk about the Barramundi up in Darwin.
Yeah.
There's plenty of prizes up there.
Yeah.
Not that they generally get caught, those ones, but...
No. What do we got?
We got nothing, Diz.
We're a 3-year snapper band. That's what we got, big guy.
So we need to work on that and get something better going, Diz.
We do.
I think it's $1 million, the Darwin one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure it always gets caught.
Nah.
This one is guaranteed because someone's going to catch a snapper.
Yeah.
You might just catch a little panty and that's the only one that gets caught and you win $20,000 if it's the biggest.
Cheers.
So it could be a thunderstorm. No one can get out of the water.
Pretty impressive for biggest squid. I'll tell you what you're going to need for that biggest squid.
The SquidEzy.
You are.
We're coming up to that, Diz.
You are.
Also, just wanted to, I know we're not talking this into a Victorian show, but another thing that we should talk about is it's a bit of comparison of what we could do here. The Vic Fisheries Authority is seeking nominations for rec fishers to join our Recreational Fishing Licence Trust Advisory Committee. So that is to help to decide where to spend the rec licence funds.
Yep.
And that'll be made up of 8 rec fishers and an independent chair for a 3-year term. So that would be what we would be encouraging them to do here if a licence was ever to get in. So the money is decided where it goes by fishers, for fishers. It sounds like a great system. And that would probably, if that was run effectively, that would overcome a lot of the barriers that people put up to the fishing licence, Diz.
Yeah, I'd completely agree with that, Rody.
So that is the end of my interstate rant.
Yes, no, very well done.
But anyway, it is good to compare what we do here to elsewhere.
Good to keep the listeners abreast of the issues in Vic, Rody.
Yeah, Diz, and that was a great segment for news.
It was. Well done. All right, Rody, we're very lucky to be joined by Rod Cross from SquidEzy. Thanks very much for taking the time, Rod. How are you going?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Great to have you on the show, Rod, and we are very much looking forward to hearing about a great piece of fishing equipment that you are involved with. But first off, we're going to chat about your fishing in general, and we'd like you to tell us about your best fish, Rod.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I'm not sure whether you're aware of Port Vincent.
Yes. Great
Yeah.
spot.
And the Spit.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Well, a mob of us go over there probably twice a year, and mate and I were over there, and we had a very, very dismal 2-3 days. Didn't catch a lot. And we decided to go the extra yard on Sunday, where normally we'd pack up and go home.
Yep.
We decided to go out for the last hurrah, so to speak, to try and redeem ourselves from shame of catching not too many. And we were sitting on the Spit because it was a bit rough, and my line just went ballistic, just went off, and I thought, I don't know, it's a Port Jackson or something like that. I had a real tug about it all.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't as sluggish as a Port Jackson shark. It started to have a bit of fight with it, and I pulled up a 530 millimetre long bloody King George whiting out of the Spit. It was just unbelievable. It was not only a horse, it was a horse. It was bloody huge.
What a slob.
So that sort of made our weekend, really. Just one fish it changed our whole attitude. It was phenomenal. So that was probably the best fish I've ever caught.
Oh, that's a bloody good shallow water whiting there, Rod. Well done.
Yeah, really, in the Spit too. You don't normally catch them that big in the Spit.
No.
That was incredible.
All right, Rod, what's your favourite thing about fishing?
I think being there.
Yep.
I think just being there and the anticipation, never knowing what's down there and what will happen next, and just fishing with mates, it's just so special, and I don't think anyone should ever take that for granted. It's just so nice to be out there on the water and enjoying the environment and the fresh air and that anticipation that you may just hook onto something.
We couldn't agree with you any more there, Rod. I think you're dead right there, mate. And What sort of got you into fishing in the first place, or maybe if you could share with us one of your first fishing memories?
Yeah, it goes way back, probably before you were ever born, you young things. I had a neighbour whose uncle was the sort of manager of Torrens Island Power Station.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And we're invited over there on a Sunday for a barbecue and all that sort of stuff. We had to go across on the launch because there's no bridge at those days. And someone handed me a rod and I caught my first bream. And I never have, I don't know how old I was teenage, at least. And I couldn't believe the feeling of hanging onto a fish on the end and landing this massive bream. It was fantastic. And then my uncle John, and his two boys and two girls, used to go caravanning, and he'd invite me out as well. And he was a beautiful man and an absolute gun fisherman, and I guess that's what really got me started. It was fantastic. So,
yeah, same as many of us. An elder relative to get you involved is great to put you in the right direction, Rod. This could be a loaded question and maybe an obvious answer, but what is your favourite sort of fishing? Can we guess it's catching squid?
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, that's the obvious solution. What is it?
It's actually when the whiting are on the bite.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, we had an amazing experience once again at Port Vincent. We reckon some professional fishermen had dumped a whole heap of razorfish in order to net the whiting. But we were out there, we once again had a rotten 3 days before this Sunday, and we caught probably a handful of fish amongst 4 boats. The 4 of us went out, 4 boats that is, and got into this patch that somebody had dumped these razorfish in lieu of catching, something later on. But we got there before them. And in those days, the bag limit was 60.
Yeah.
And 4 boats all bagged out.
Oh, jeez.
240 whitings from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock in 2 hours.
Jeez,
It was just the most phenomenal fishing that I've ever had, and I would never, ever experience that again in my whole life.
Oh,
it was just phenomenal.
That's very good going, Rod. Well done on that. I've got one suggestion for your fishing, mate, over at Port Vincent.
Yeah.
Sounds like you should only go out on the last day.
I reckon. Yeah.
Sit in the pub for 3 days and go fishing on the last day.
Oh, dear.
Rod, you mentioned these fishing trips to Port Vincent. You must have a funny fishing story, or maybe one that got away.
Yeah, I've been thinking for the last couple of days about that, and you know what? I really haven't got one. I had a gun fisherman again who comes with us. He was trying to catch squid, which I've done on many occasions over there, and he realised it was probably better to take the actual guard off the bloody prongs of the squid jag before he actually chuck it out, because he wasn't catching it with a plastic cap. I think I've done that a few times. And I think probably catching squid over there, I've tried probably every jag in my tackle box, expensive ones and what have you, and stuck on an El Cheapo and nailed a squid. So, it's one of those things that you just don't know. It's it pot luck sometimes.
They can be a bit temperamental.
$30 squid jag, or you've got a $4 squid jag. It just depends on the squid at the time. They're amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Excellent, Rob. Well, thank you very much for going through those 5 questions. Let's get stuck into what you've been up to. Can you tell all of our listeners exactly what SquidEzy is and how it works?
Yeah, sure. I back at Port Vincent, it all started many, many moons ago when I was asked to clean squid, and I had absolutely no idea. Just a local at it, and ended up as black as ace of spades and mess everywhere. Couldn't quite get the technique right. So I thought there must be a better way, and I'm a design technology teacher.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's something going on here, So I made a little bit of a prototype out of acrylic, and that was used to sort of sever the membrane at the back of the head and get rid of the guts in the head without breaking the ink sac. So that sort of worked. And over a long period of time, I just kept on improving the product until I got to where I thought was a reasonable tool. And then I just said to my brother-in-law, what do you think of this? And he said, well, let's Google it. Let's see if anything's out there on the market. Lo and behold, there wasn't. So, for a long story short, we went into engineering here in South Australia at Everstown, got a tool made up for it, and then got the product made at Royal Park from American Plastics, injection moulding, and away we went. So now we're distributing to all retailers around Australia and Anaconda and BCF. So
it's great that you're in a couple of the big tackle bobs, but you're in with a lot of local ones as well. I had a look on your website, and it'd probably be easier to list the tackle shops you're not stocking at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably a few that we're missing, but happy to do so.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got most of the state covered there, Rod. You've done very well.
Yes, indeed.
And can you tell us, Rod, why does it make it so much easier? Why is your product so good?
I just think, like I've got a mate who, just this weekend I was fishing with him, and he does it by hand, does a reasonable job. I look over every now and then at his cleaning table, and it's covered in black ink. So sometimes you can get out just using the fingers and all that sort of stuff, but I can pretty much clean one in less than 40 seconds. And I think just using the tool properly, you don't break the ink sac, number one. It makes it a very floppy, sloppy piece of, equipment, membrane, rigid. So by putting the SquidEzy tool in there, it just stiffens it all up and makes it a little bit more manageable. Now, look, I don't advocate that I'm the best salesman in the whole world. I just think for recreational fishermen, it makes an easier job of cleaning squid. And I'm getting lots and lots of feedback, exactly along those lines, that they think it's wonderful and they use it. And other people will say, no, I'll do it my own way. And that's fair enough as well.
Well, look, I think, Rod, anything to get the fish cleaning out of the way and allow you to get stuck into the beers sooner is a win in our book. So it's a fantastic thing you've come up with. Mate, tell us, is it still locally manufactured in Edwards or Royal Park? Or
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry.
wonderful.
Yep.
Fantastic. We love that. Locals, supporting locals.
Yes.
Fantastic. And Rod, what else have you been up to? You recently at the boat show, was that right?
Yes, went to the boat show and did very well. That was the first time for a few years that I've been there. It's been cost prohibitive in recent times, so Tracy Titto from Just a Girl organised some marquees out in the atrium, and we set up along there, and we got a really great response from the public, and it was nice to be back there again. And,
sounds like it was a really good event that Tracy put on, so well done in getting involved in that. We were also interested, we've seen you on Shark Tank. What was that experience like, Rob?
That was amazing. How many hours have you got? It was quite incredible. We had to go through an absolute volume to get there in the first place. So the application was huge. And then you go through a probation sort of thing. You have to produce, or not produce, but put your spiel across to the producers in Adelaide. They come over here for one day, and you go through the whole deal. And if they like you, then you go across to Sydney and meet the sharks. So we were fortunate enough to get through the first round. They accepted us, and over went to Sydney. They pay for everything, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
Got our accommodation and rocked up on, I think it was on a Friday, and I think the whole viewing time was around about 45 minutes. Never ever get to see the sharks. You basically could walk in and there they are, all staring at you. There's only one way you could smile. That is smile once, but trying to smile 5 times and wait for a prompt from the directors to say, okay, you can start talking was quite nerve-wracking. And then off you go. And they made us feel welcome. That was all rather good. And Steve Baxter, who's supposedly the fishing guru, came out and cleaned the squid using the tool. He did okay. He managed right.
And did that get you lots of business, Rob?
No one took us on, but the sales went through the roof that night.
Yeah, I thought they might have.
Yeah, it was incredible.
No, well done. And Rod, is there any other? Have you got any other great ideas for your new invention to help fillet some other species or anything else for that matter?
No, nothing is yet. No, I keep racking my brains, and that's probably a pretty common question. But yeah, I'm a bit stuck for something new and innovative. I mean, like me, you've seen all sorts of gadgets out there on the market, and then whatever. But no, I haven't come up with it.
Fantastic, Rod. And you mentioned earlier about how the squid can be a bit temperamental and they may or may not take which lure, whatever you're throwing out there. Are you a bit of a squidding guru yourself?
No, not really. Pretty hopeless, really. I had a Gancraft jag once, and that thing used to, 8 out of 10, it would smash the squid.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Next day, same jag wouldn't do a thing, so because they're colourblind, you think, I'll put this fancy looking thing on that looks pretty specky, but on the day and the contrast of the weather, the cloud, the clarity of the water, everything constitutes, whether you're going to be successful or not. Some days you just nail it, and some days you don't. So,
and a lot of the squid jags really just catch the fishermen, don't they, Rod?
That's it.
All right, well, thanks a lot for coming on the show, Rod. It's been great to talk to you. And as we said, you can get the SquidEzy products at a huge range of tackle shops across the state and also on the website. So, Rod, thanks a lot for your time and thanks for telling us about your great idea.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Rob. We'll catch up with you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Dears, great to hear from Rod from SquidEzy.
Yes, Roddy, fantastic to hear from him. Sounds like a very good, keen fisherman of the Port Vincent area.
Yes.
Very well known for its whiting and squid game.
We might have to have a bit of a comp with him one day when we're over that way. We do a bit of fishing around there.
Yeah. We have launched a couple of times from Port Vincent, haven't we?
We rate ourselves.
Yeah, we do. Not bad.
Anyway, dears, good to hear from him, and it's a great product, isn't it?
Yeah, basically just get down to easiest way, get down to How's Your Tackle.
I know for sure they've got them.
And hook in. Yeah, I've seen them there, mate.
Some of the big mobs might have them, but they don't have the hometown advice.
No, they don't. Well, if you walk into BCF, you're going to get someone like Dan or Boyd who knows what's what in the industry and where they're biting and all that.
No,
you're going to get some absolute fool's head who knows nothing.
You won't be getting the bloody freshest cockles in the state either, Diz.
Yeah, you're going to be able to get a 3-way cockle measure. Sandy and blue swim crap. Nuh-uh. Not today.
All right, Diz, this leads us in, all this How's Your Tackle chat. We are moving on. So the socials coming up is a big competition.
Oh, it's a collaboration of some of the finest organisations in the state.
It's a real who's who of fishing in South Australia. We're going to run a competition, like the post, share the post, and you'll go in the draw.
I've actually messaged Zuckerberg to see whether Facebook's going to be able to handle the amount of traction this thing's going to get.
And it's an all-star lineup of prizes, Diz. We've got a brilliant contribution from Savage Tackle, very generous. Simon dropped off on the weekend a burley bucket, couple of bags of mixed sinkers and a beautiful hat.
Lovely hat. They're the best burley buckets going around.
And the sinkers are great. He's hooked us
sinkers-
up with a few deers, which is very generous of him, and thanks a lot to Simon.
You know how people stuff around with melting lead and pouring them into moulds?
Mate, I'd burn myself and they'd end up crap anyway.
What idiots.
Just go to Simon, Savage Tackle.
Simon.
So he's chipped in.
You're kidding me.
How's Your Tackle, as always, very generous with their contributions to the show. They put a voucher forward, which is great of them.
Yep.
Flacky, Troll So Hard.
Coming into Flacky's, the pointy end of Flacky's ear, isn't it?
So he's going to get a lure or two for us, Diz.
Yeah.
And Lazy Fisher.
Well, where are you going to keep the lures, Roddy?
We need a lure bag.
Of course you need a lure bag.
Lazy Fisher has delivered.
Yes.
Another
Absolutely.
great friend of the show. And we've also got a hoodie and a cap and some stubby holders and all the merch.
Yeah, and of course there's going to be a handful of bumper stickers in there to stick on your car, plus at least a handful of your mates' cars.
So, Diz, if that isn't the biggest and best prize in fishing, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean, I personally have just heard most of the listeners fall off their chair.
I'd rather win that than that
What's coming?
20k prize they've got in bloody Victoria, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, you asked what we've got. We've got the 5-way collaboration.
I'll even get Dizzy to sign your stubby holder.
It's an important signature.
All right, so that is coming up. Keep your eyes peeled on the socials.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, make sure you do tag us in all your fishing adventures.
Yes.
Diz, we're nearly to the end. We've already done the tackle segment, which was, of course, the SquidEzy.
Yes, we have, but it'd be remiss of us not to talk about the catches we've been hearing about across the state.
So we did touch earlier on our own success. Plenty of nannies off Sceales Bay.
Yep.
If you're in that part of the world, get out there. The 10 fathom bump, lump, line, whatever they call it. Plenty of fish out there, it is.
Yes, no, great spot. We didn't sort of... We just went to the general area.
Sounded around,
got some good looking bumps, lumps, sounded the fish and got into them. Right.
And yes, we did, Diz, and we got them on all sorts of bait, pilchards from How's Your Tackle,
Yep.
some of our own squid heads,
Yep.
bit of
the
this, bit of
pilchards
that.
were
They were
great.
biting most things, weren't they?
The pilchards they normally go pretty well on the pilchards.
The thing I love about those How's Your Tackle pilchards is they don't go mushy. You know those ones, the servo ones, you put them on and I don't reckon they make it to the bottom.
Fresh is best.
Fresh, frozen, they're bloody good, those billies.
They are.
So anyway, that's certainly a great spot to go for nannies. Plenty of lumps out there.
Yeah.
And we are going to include that, Diz. We're writing another article for SA Angler.
Yes, we are.
So if you want to know all about our Sceales Bay adventure, our fishing around Streaky Bay,
And just the Eyre Peninsula in general.
the shark cage diving, our chat with Andrew Wright, all of that will be included.
Don't give too much away, mate.
Provided our English and grammar is up to scratch and Shane and Brett Mensforth are happy with what we put together.
Yeah, that's right. We shouldn't count our chickens before they've hatched, Rhodey.
Particularly, I've seen some of your handwriting. It's not good. It's almost illegible.
Still waiting for that pen license to come through.
So anyway, that's something to look forward to for you all. A little sneak preview.
Yes, it is.
Where else are they biting, Diz? Tell us about the rest of the report.
Rhodey, Pez has very, very well been known amongst our circle of friends as a bit of a squidding guru.
Yes.
And
Friend
he
of the show.
has delivered in a big way.
Caught 8 in 15 minutes.
8 in 15 minutes. He's almost going at one every couple of minutes.
On a kayak off Emu Bay on Kangaroo Island. I hope he had his SquidEzy to make cleaning them up a breeze.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably did. But look, they look like they had a fantastic weekend away,
Yeah.
swimming with the dolphins.
Yeah, it looked like a great weekend, Diz. And what do we think? So Pez has given the new girlfriend Amy the debut on the Facebook picture.
Yes, Lachie was very quick to point that out.
And he's shot her in the face with some squid egg.
I know, yes.
In the
there's
same
some good
week.
footage released, and you'll be able to find that on our socials, I think, right?
So what do we think of that, Diz?
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a kick in the guts for Amy.
She wouldn't be happy.
No,
She looked pretty happy in the video, though.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Sometimes it's a laughter. It's a laughter that's born out of shock.
Anyway, Diz, Pez was repping the hoodie and the cap.
Yes.
All the gear, he was looking great.
Yeah, he was.
And he did well on the fish.
He was. All right, Roddy, there has been a shark caught in the Port River and no one was expecting it to be a thresher.
That was a shock.
Of course it was. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, thresher shark in the Port River.
And a bloody good sized one too.
I can't imagine that happens too often.
No.
Did you see the picture of it jumping?
Yes, I did.
Got a bit of air.
I did.
So
it took me back to that time we were at the Streaky Bay Museum seeing the great whites.
So yes, no, it did. It was a very memorable catch, that thresher shark. So well done to that gentleman.
Very well done, Rhodey. The Kingies are really starting to make their way, and really, there's been some anglers that are having some good weekends on.
Yeah, I think Hamish got into it, friend of the show.
Yes.
He got one last week, and I think the weather turned on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday, one of the days.
Saturday.
Maybe Saturday picked up.
Weather was pretty nasty on Saturday.
But it looked like there were heaps of boats out there having a beautiful time, then all of a sudden a storm hit.
Yeah. Bit of an electrical storm went through.
Yes, it did.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah, so hopefully they all got their feed before then and got off the water nice and safe.
Not pleasant being out on the boat when an electrical storm goes past, hanging on the end of a big conductor.
No, certainly not, Diz. And there are also kingies at Point Lowly.
Well, there was a fantastic piece of footage shared by Whyalla Fishing Page.
Yes.
Shout out to them. Some great footage of some pretty large-looking additions off Point Lowly.
Yes, so they're all through that area, Diz, and that's something we're looking to do in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
Absolutely. And a very nice mullyway caught down at Kingston, Rhodey, in the southeast.
Yeah, a fella by the name of Connor Baker.
Yes.
Shared it, he weighed it in at Kingston Caltex.
33 kilos.
156 centimetres. They get some good fish down there, Diz.
Yeah, it's a good fish.
I would say that we've never, to be honest, given mulloway fishing a go down that bottom end of the Coorong, that Kingston sort of area.
No, we haven't.
Down to the granites.
Yeah, no,
But
haven't.
I would say it's underrated.
Yeah, well.
We've done the Coorong, we've done all that, and everyone travels the Coorong, goes over to the far west coast. But you don't really hear of that many people going down to Kingston for mullies, but they do catch their fair share.
Yes, no, they've done well there. Very well. And one last thing coming out of the report, Rhodey, of course, the Goolwa cockle season is now open, and there's definitely some reports starting to trickle through.
I've heard lots of small ones.
Yes.
So make sure you have your measurer.
Yeah, you need your measurer, and probably a case of moving around a bit till you get onto a good patch.
Yes, correct, is. And the other one that just opened is the crayfish for the northern zone.
Yes, yep.
So I know...
I've heard of some good catches.
Yes, I know Althorpe's has had a few.
No surprises there.
Ben went out and got some over there.
Yes.
I think it was the opening day. Took the day off work, slacker.
Jeez. Wouldn't it be nice? One last one, Rhodey, is of course the record-breaking 1/2 metre redfin.
Yes.
From
This just
Heath.
broke recently, yeah. Heath Webber.
Heath Webber got an absolute... That was a hooah.
So it looked like it was about 52 centimetres, I'm going to call it, on that measurer.
Yeah.
And I think it came out of the South Para Reservoir.
Yeah, Heath's a bit of a keen angler out of that resi.
And I know the Reservoir Fishing page of South Australia on Facebook has called it the record.
Yes, okay.
He said I think Alex Williams is quite involved in that page.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows freshwater fishing, it's Alex. So if he says it's a record, I'll say it's a record.
Yeah, well, Heath looks like he's been out there for a few days chasing them.
Yeah, he's got a bit of growth.
And he looks like he knows his way around that resi, I reckon, if he's plucking out a 1/2 metre.
He's a good fisherman by the looks, Heath, and well done to him. That's a bloody good-sized fish.
Yes, very well done. Well, Rhodey, that wraps up the report, I think, mate.
Well, that just about might wrap up the show too, Diz.
It will. That is very good. Very well done. Look, it was great to hear from Rod. It was a very enjoyable chat with him, hearing of some good stories he's had over the years, but also that local invention in SquidEzy, which
it's a great product.
As you said, you can find them in so many tackle stores.
It's hard to miss. So make sure you get your hands on one. It's a great product, great South Australian idea.
Yep.
As the weather warms up, we're sure you're going to get out fishing. Make sure you get us involved. Tag us on your Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
And look, just give us a hoy.
Yeah, just give us a hoy.
Tell us any ideas you got for the show, any future guests you'd suggest, what you've been doing, what you've been catching. Just really get us involved, guys.
Absolutely. We
all
look
right,
forward
Diz.
to it.
That's all
Ready?
we got.
Well done.
Another
Pleasure
great
chatting
episode.
with you. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.